Welcome back. It is about 6:49, and we just heard a few minutes ago on our news that the adoption of renewable energy at this stage would actually cost consumers more here in the Cayman Islands. This morning, members of the newly formed Cayman Renewable Energy Association tell us about the group's mission and the future of renewables in the Cayman Islands as they see it. Next to me is the chairman, James Whittaker, who's also with the Green Tech group of companies, and Jim Knapp, who's with Endless Energy. He's a member of the association and really a pioneer of renewables here in the Cayman Islands. Good morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Morning. Thank you.
So we just heard this in the news after there was this RFP that went out for government to present to the ERA different ways to bring more energy to the Cayman Islands, and CUC ended up being the winning bid, so it's going to be more diesel power to create that extra load. Why is this why? Why is this a problem?
Well, I think the issues depend on your point of view, and I think the data and the technology that's out there now has proven that renewable energies are cheaper than fossil fuels. So certainly myself as an individual and as an association, I don't think we agree with the idea that fossil fuels are of greater cost, of lesser cost than renewable energies, just in principle.
The other thing too is that the bid that went out was for firm power. The term was called firm power, which means there can't be any alternation, where if you have sunshine and darkness, that's not considered firm. So the only way you could do that is with storage to make it firm, and storage does cost more money right now, but overall what this country should be looking at is a larger mix of renewable with fossil. We should not be putting on more fossil fuel. We should be putting on more renewable and have that mix. The government just isn't doing that.
Is it up, do you feel that it's up to us as individuals then to start taking matters into our own hands and incorporating renewable into our own homes?
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason why the association was formed is because, Jim's been pioneering renewables here in the island for a long time, and there's been a bunch of us that are kind of out there screaming in the wind as individuals, and we thought an association that could come together and lobby as one organization and speak as one organization, help to educate consumers and also help to educate the policymakers was actually the best route to go. But at the end of the day, it is incumbent on all of us, each individual person, to advocate for and to really promote renewables if we want to have a solution to this problem.
So do you have sort of, as an association, short-term and long-term goals?
Yeah. I would say our long-term goal, in the big picture of things, is to be 100%, clean energy based in Cayman Islands. I mean, that's our long-term goal. I think our short-term goal right now is to get the levels of adoption that technology will allow, which we are very, very far off the mark right now.
Oh, and we're also seeing at the moment, the price of crude oil has been going down globally. So, and actually I just read an article this morning that in the States people are like, oh yeah, let's get some more SUVs. Wait, we can afford gas again. But that's something that's very volatile.
If you look over history, and by over history, go over the last 50 years and look at the price of oil. Every time it reaches a real high peak, then it will fall, because what they're doing is constantly testing how much people will pay. So to say it's coming down right now it's absolute lunacy. The price of oil does nothing except go up over time. And everybody knows that. And we're already at a point where a lot of people don't believe there's enough oil to sustain us for the length of the contract that this government has just approved. So.
What do you do? I mean, how do we overcome that initial barrier of the cost of incorporating renewables?
Education is the first thing.
Okay.
You have to have informed people, and what we have in this island are a number of misinformed people. And part of the project or function of the association is to educate the public, as James had said at our launch the other night at the governor's.
So what can we expect then, in the near future? Are you going to be out there? Are there going to be more events that people can attend and more education of the public?
There's definitely going to be a lot of educational events. We're also going to be advocating directly with policymakers, and as Jim said, making them more informed in terms of what the technology and what the capabilities are today. We're also going to be, as an association, creating better standards so that people, when they do advocate and they do adopt renewable energies, that they're really getting what it is that we're promising. So there's a series of initiatives, and one of the big things as well is for us to have a national energy policy that makes sense and to advocate for that. so that we have a plan in place. So for Korea, there's a series of very important initiatives that's going to be coming forward here shortly.
I think that is really important to say, you know, what are we going to do in the future? You have to, and to get people on board with whatever makes the most sense and is the most sustainable. What do you think of Richard Branson's program where he's trying to get some of these other Caribbean islands completely off fossil fuels?
Personally, I think it's great. I mean, at the end of the day, Branson's a very big figure. He carries a lot of weight behind him. And I think, again, his end goal is very much the same as ours. It's the levels of adoption of renewable energy that is possible. And we think that 100% clean energy is inevitable. And that's really what Branson is saying as of today, right now. So I think it's fantastic.
He's not a fool. These people know, he knows his money.
He's a
and he
businessman.
knows that, that it is possible to do, and he knows that businesses aren't sustainable. Businesses will not stay here if the cost of energy continues to rise the way that it has. So, I mean, again, and sustainable energy is possible right now.
There's a bigger cost to fossil fuel as well. I mean, if you believe that fossil fuels, as all the science says, is leading to bleaching of the reefs, rising sea levels, rising ocean temperatures, you know, what is the real cost? So, you know, people also have to be educated in that respect, that there is, not only is there a high cost of fossil fuel, but there's a cost that's usually not even taken into account.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again in the future, probably very soon. I like that competitors are coming together to do what's right for the future of the Cayman Islands.
Thank you.